some big news coming out right now. Nottingham Forest this evening. talkSPORT understands Sean Dyche is fighting to save his job. Marinakis was visibly furious watching on from the stands. Forest were held to a 0-0 draw at home to bottom club Wolves. With Forest not in action this weekend, Marinakis is believed to be contemplating whether a third managerial change is needed to ensure the club avoid relegation.
Well, I did.
Surely, though, right? If you're going to sack Sean Dyche to avoid relegation, you've got to bring in a manager who's going to get you out of that. You know you're in a relegation fight. Who's the manager you want in that fight? Sean Dyche.
It feels like it, doesn't it?
Do you know,
it does feel like that.
I feel like if you're going to make that change and you're going to make that decision, make it.
They've already made this decision. They're making the same decision again, for my money. But it just shows how desperate it's become, because staying in the Premier League is financially, it's crippling for a side that doesn't stay in there.
Yeah,
you can't fathom what it means to the football club to fall out of the Premier League. The financial riches of the Premier League, and this is why clubs make decisions. This is why Marinakis, he's now trying to rectify two mistakes, it would appear.
Yeah.
Bringing in Ange was the first one. I said at the time I felt Sean Dyche was the right appointment. As I said earlier, if I was a Forest fan, I'd be very concerned, because there is definitely an upturn in West Ham. The manager they sacked may well be the manager that takes them down in Nuno. That will be a fear. That will be very much on Marinakis' mind. That the fact that they could get sent down from the Premier League will be by a manager that he sacked at the beginning of the season. There's a lot going on here, and I don't know how straight he's thinking, but these are desperate people make desperate decisions, and this is a desperate decision.
Let's go to Roger. He's a Forest fan. All right, Rog.
Hello. How you doing?
All right, Rog. Look, a bit of breaking news coming from Alex Crook, chief football correspondent. Now, he is fighting for his job, Sean Dyche, so there is conversations being had about him potentially getting sacked. What do you make of that?
Yeah. I think the thing is, nothing would surprise me with the owner that we've got. What he'll probably do is he'll probably sack him and then realise he's the best manager and rehire him. That's probably what he'll end up doing. It's just crazy. I mean, I just think that, tonight was awful. Wolves were probably one of the worst Premier League teams I've ever seen at the City Ground, and we huffed and puffed, but there was just no quality. And my biggest fear when we hired Sean Dyche is that his background is very much about keeping teams up and making average players better. And we were looking to push on. We've got a fantastic squad of players that we're massively underperforming, and all my fears are coming true, that I just don't think he's got what it takes to be able to go and take a Gibbs White and an Elliot Anderson. Douglas Luiz was a good one that, we've ended up losing him now. It'll be interesting to see how he gets on at Villa, because I think he's a quality player. But Marinakis is, I don't know. I mean, I think to your previous caller's point, the Forest fan, will be hugely thankful for him forever for what he's done, because he's got us back into the Premier League. But sacking Nuno, I mean, this season, I was saying to my boys on the way down, this season should have been one of huge celebration for what we got last year, and it's just, I don't know, we're lost for words. I just came away from the ground tonight thinking, how on earth have we not scored a goal against probably one of the worst teams I've ever seen? It's just unbelievable.
Isn't it amazing that we're talking about two sides that had really good seasons in Forest and Crystal Palace last year, right? If you rewind 11 months, 10 months, whatever you want to do, these were two sides going into this season full of hope, full of, on the back of what was an unbelievable season. Now look at them both. One of them sacked two managers already. Looks like they're going to sack the third. The other side, Palace, their manager is leaving at the end of the season. It really is bizarre. It just to think that was only 10 months ago that these two sides won in European football for the first time in God knows how long, won the FA Cup for the first time in their history. It's nuts.
Let's go to Pat. He's a Forest fan. All right, Pat.
Pat.
Oh, good evening. Look, the fact is, I believe, this is my personal opinion, that although Forest had the majority of the ball possession and the game, which they did, and created a whole host of chances, I think that the pressure got to the players, but that shouldn't take away from the fact that they couldn't convert even one chance. They should have been able to convert one chance. But I think the pressure of what the game means just got to the, and they were snatching at their efforts.
Yeah, I hear you, but look, I don't know. Just on the manager, Pat, Sean Dyche. I like Sean Dyche. You know, I think it was a good appointment at a time when you needed a bit of stability, you needed a bit of know-how. It hasn't really gone your way, but do I think, like, when I look at your results, one drawn, lost, drawn. You've lost one in 5 or 6. You know, it's not terrible form.
No. But look, there's Fenerbahce coming up in the next couple of weeks. Now, you can't, not being funny, you can't get somebody in. You know, it's like sack. Well, they probably might, but I think it's just a reaction from Marinakis. Now, he's got to get somebody in, and he's got to get them ready for Fenerbahce next week. I mean, that's not good. I would be. I wouldn't send Dyche to the sack room.
Sack room?
I'd be inclined to.
There's a sack room.
Mate,
is there?
do you know what? There is a Forest. There's a sack room. That's only managed to make sack room.
Well, they've got a room that just says sack room on
It
it.
just says it's sack.
I'll meet you in the sack room in
Mate,
10 minutes.
When you go in the sack room, you know you're in big trouble.
What's in that room, do you reckon?
Well, Nuno. Nuno's in there. Marinakis is in there. He's sitting at the edge of the table. You've got Big Ange. Big Ange is in there. And then, you know,
you know,
don't want to go to the sack room, mate.
Unfortunately, he's not doing it at the right time.
Let me ask you this. Do you think Sean Dyche should go into the sack room?
Oh, I mean, I said it, didn't I?
Yeah. No.
That's fair enough.
So is he outside? How many steps away from the sack room is he?
He's sort of knocking on the door, waiting to be
knocking on the door.
Come in.
He's knocking on the door.
He's knocking on the door. That means he wants to. If you knock on the door, you want to go in.
He's been knocking on the door, waiting for the Marinakis to tell him to come in. But I hope it's not, because it isn't a good look for managers in the season.
No, it's a terrible look.
If he's knocking on the door. I mean, we're hearing from what Crookie said.
Mm-hmm.
He may well be knocking on the door, mate.
Marinakis is in there.
Yeah, Marinakis is in there. He's just making his
sharpening his pencil.
He can't quite get up out that seat quick enough. He's just
umming and ahhing about it.
Struggling a little bit, mate.
Yeah, he's got one hand on the doorknob.
I mean, he's not the sharpest mover, is he, Marinakis? The side.
No, mate.
No, I think he's just one of those where some people he's leant back in his seat. He's like that. And he's just going. I'll open the door to the sack room, and he's up out of his seat. And he's on his way to open the door, mate.
I don't think that'd be a good move.
Here's a question for you, right? If Sean Dyche goes into the sack room, would you have at Spurs?
No. You having a laugh? Come on, mate.
No. What do you mean?
Come on, mate.
No, why are you?
What are you on about?
Listen.
What are you on about?
No, to the end of the season.
No, absolutely.
Dyche.
No.
Bit of Dyche ball. No, Jay, look at me. I'm not joking you. He's available.
He's not available.
Once he goes in the sack room, he's available.
No.
Would you?
No.
Would you go? Let's get him out of the sack room.
No.
Go and rescue him from the sack room.
Absolutely not.
Would you not?
No.
Big Ange is in there on his own at the minute.
I think I'd rather Big Ange.
It's just who we are, mate.
So you want Big Ange? So you got 2 of them in there.
If I'm having a pick.
You're going in the sack room.
So I walk in.
You walk in, right? You've got Big Ange in one corner.
I'm not a clown.
Right?
Yeah.
And you've got Dyche in the other.
Yeah, shut up, Dyche, about all that nonsense.
Where are you going?
Can I leave?
You've got to take one with you, mate.
I know.
You haven't got a manager. You got to walk in the sack room, but you got to come out the new manager. You got Big Ange over to your left.
Marinakis in there.
Marinakis to the left, mate. He's had enough. He's angry. He's had enough of these two. Got Dyche over there.
Yeah, shut up, Dyche.
You walked in the sack room. The lights is dim. He's been there a long time, Big Ange.
I'm not a
his
clown.
eyes. Are you rescuing Big Ange? Dyche.
Yeah, shut up, Dyche.
I think I'm taking Big Ange.
It's just who we are, mate.
Out you come, son.
You can't
Here we
come
go.
back. All is forgiven. Big Ange ball.